So today, pretend that you are in your French horn only class. Okay, you're the instructor and this is a teacher edition only, and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I teach lip slurs to my students? I want them to use them every day, but I just really don't know how to start that process, okay? So I will add a video later where I teach lip slurs in heterogeneous classes, but if this is a French horn only class, you can accelerate much, much faster, and I'm gonna show you with a game, okay? So this is a game that I play with my kids all throughout the school year. So when we get to this point of our lip slurs, they already know how it goes, okay? And it's just a basic copycat game. I'm in front of my kids and they're all either in a line or an arc in front of me. And I get 4 beats and they get 4 beats. They have to answer it, okay? So while I'm playing, they're listening. And then on beats 3 and 4, they are breathing in, setting their face, and responding with what they just heard, okay? So I always set my metronome to 60 beats per minute or 65, somewhere in there, depending on our skill on these really basic long tones and lip slurs. Okay, and our first lip slur that I teach my kids is C, E, G, E, C. Very basic, no other positions. I just go with open position, first position, and it'll take about a week before the kids get comfortable. And by the end of that week, you can add several more positions to it, just going down chromatically, just depending on, where's their range, what are they capable of doing, and it's just experimenting and seeing how far can you push your superstars, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is what this first piece would look like. I always start on C, and at this point in the year when I teach the slur, the kids can play C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. Oops. Not that fast though, maybe not all tongued, but as soon as they're comfortable with moving around those first 5 notes, and it might be G, F, E, D, C that you taught them, which is fantastic. It doesn't matter as long as they're comfortable with it, and you can say, hey, play a C, and they can play a C. You know how 6th grade beginner band goes, especially French horn players. Then you want to start the slur, okay? So the first piece is just playing a C for a half note and slurring up to an E. And I talk about, what is my face doing, kids, when I go from C to E? My embouchure is getting firmer, okay? I'm blowing cold air into my mouthpiece, and I'm keeping my chin super flat. Let your tummy and your embouchure do all the work, okay? So I get 4 beats, and my imaginary students will get 4 beats, okay? Always tap my toe, metronome always going. Then they would respond, and I do it a few times. Over and over again until they get really comfortable with it, and that might be all that I do for day 1, because there's so many other skills I want to hit that day that just doing that C to E slur and going up and doing C to E is all I get to. And I want to make sure to hear every kid every day on every skill, which could seem bonkers, but it pays off in the end. So I go down the row, every kid, C, E, C, E. And if you want more student feedback, have a kid play and then say, hey, little Johnny, what was something great he did? Okay, how do you think he could improve? Or you could say, Susie Q, what was his embouchure doing? Just to make sure, hey, do they know what's really happening with their face? Do they know how to make that happen? Or was that just sheer luck and magic? Could be, I don't know, we'll see. And so then the next piece I add, you guessed it, is adding G on top. And it'll sound just like this. I do tongue the first note. My turn first. Then it's their turn. And now we're not going in like strict 4/4. Don't think about time signatures, just think about beats. And you might have noticed, when I started to play it, I sped up the tempo. So you don't necessarily want your kids to immediately, all right, here we are, C, E, G, ready? Now some can do that, and then a lot of them can't, okay? So still move your tempo up so they don't run out of air, but play it in half notes. Listen, one more time. It that second to get their brain to process. And you might even say, hey, don't worry about tapping your toe. Don't worry about that. Just move together. And I might just do C, E, G, and cue them on each note until they're pretty comfortable moving between those notes and figured out what their face is doing. And then I'll take it back to doing it in time, tapping my toe. Just make it as broken down as possible. Think, what skill do you want your kids to learn? Is it to play from C, E, and G beautifully, or is it to tap their toe? Well, if it's to play C, E, and G beautifully, it might look like this. Ready and breathe. Then they respond, not necessarily in time, but you're helping cueing them. They're not tapping their toe. They're just focused on making a good sound, doing the correct slur. And then as they get more comfortable, you add time, okay? So you do this throughout the week, and then once they get comfortable going up, make them come back down. And once you go one way, going the other is a lot easier for them to get. So you could just practice separating it totally. And then their turn. I like to give a snap. It usually just helps cue them. And with your hand on the bell, it's perfect to have this right hand. You just cue them. Okay? So coming down is a lot easier. You can add the 3 notes there. And then once they are really feeling good, then really challenge them. Say, okay, listen. Ready, set, your turn. And then they repeat. And you can go back and forth, back and forth. You can break it down. You can do it in time, out of time. Just listen to every kid. Be patient. Just know that that slur is going to take a while, and kids are going to hack it every single day. But doing it every single day is going to help you in the long term. Having them pretend, feeling the embouchure, talking about it, playing it for a friend, playing it for a neighbor, whatever it is, doing it every day, that's gonna help, okay? So be patient with them, love on them. They need some TLC, all of our beginner French horn players, and happy French horn playing. Good luck!